It is Mailbag Tuesday. Yes, we have done this on a Tuesday before. And in this video, I am answering your questions from the Discord server, talking about ISO-8, Black Order, X-Force, and Drew, the rumor guy, is appearing. So if you guys are ready for that, you know what to do. Find that like button and let's go smash it.
ValleyFlyin.
Ladies and gentlemen, what is up, Valley Maniacs? How are you doing? Mailbag Monday on a Tuesday, answering your questions from the Discord server. And as usual, guys, if you want your question potentially featured in one of these upcoming Monday mailbags or Mailbag Mondays, whatever you want to call it, make sure you are a member of the Discord channel, this Discord server. The link is in the description, and go to that channel, leave your question there. But without further ado, guys, let's get into these questions. First question, hey Valley, my favorite character is OG Spider-Man. Is he worth it to get to T14? Also, what kind of class would you recommend for him once he gets the ISO-8 arrives? As far as gear tier 14, probably not a character that I would take there unless you have already finished it, or you have geared up your main characters, because I don't think he's that valuable in that game mode. As far as ISO-8s for him, though, a couple different ways you could go. I think the obvious pick is going to be Striker, increasing his damage. Although you can kind of think outside the box, maybe giving him a healer class to give some healing, Fortifier, give him some survivability, Skirmisher. Potentially at level 3 and level 5, you're going to be clearing positive effects. So some good stuff. Raider might work for the crit damage, crit chance. I don't know. I off the top of my head, though, Striker is the one that stands out to me the most. All right, next question. Where is it? Boom, right there. Hey, was wondering if you have any idea about the possible trait requirements for the ISO-8 campaign. I saw some things on the test server. I'm not sure if I'm able to say it, but I can say this. It wasn't that hard. So if you've been playing for a while, shouldn't have too much trouble getting through the campaign nodes. For the ISO-8. What is up? Barely hanging on to 100 status in arena shards, holding on because I don't have NBA anymore. Focus on building the right U7 team. How do you balance between your focus between different game modes? So this is an interesting question, because this is a game of resource management, and you're not going to be able to build every single team for every single game mode right at once. You kind of got to prioritize what is important for you. For me, I focus on my arena team first. I want a good arena team, making sure that I could win. Now, sometimes I don't do the battles and I'm not able to win, but I want my team to at least be able to win when I play it. So arena team, very important. Raid team, have a good raid team so you can keep up with the rest of your alliance in raids. I think those are the most important. After that is kind of for fun, but you don't have anybody maw. You could build up a bunch of different teams for arena, but yeah, you gotta split your focus. You need to prioritize what is important for you. Everybody likes different things about this game and has different game modes that they enjoy more than others. So it is going to be different for everybody, but yeah, prioritize and have a plan. That is my best advice, brother. All right, I want to vent some frustration. Have been farming Loki, trying to get them to 6 gold stars. My question: do you think Foxnix will ever do something to alleviate the pain of grinding for shards on campaign nodes in general? I don't think so. I think that's kind of the point of their game, is, you know, limited resources. You got to manage your resources to build up characters. You also have to manage your resources in order to farm characters, and that's kind of what needs to be done in this game in order for you to keep playing and building your roster. So I think that's kind of designed, that you're supposed to be frustrated. Maybe they'll be giving out more shards. I know they've done some offers for some Shield, X-Men, Guardians, some stuff like that. They're giving out more of these older characters for free. So maybe something along the lines like that. Jeez, I cannot talk today, but possibly something like that. But as far as farming, I don't think they're going to do anything for that. Yo, Valley, what is up, brother? Going to go with a non-MSF questions. Did I hear you right that you're a Raider fan? Absolutely, brother. Go Raiders. It's been very hard rooting for them the past 15 years, but hopefully this season they can at least make the playoffs again. I don't know. What is your favorite version of Hulk? Is from Endgame Infinity. Your favorite version is from the Avenger movie with the puny god. That is probably one of my favorite scenes, where he gets Loki and starts flinging him around. He's kind of tamed down in Endgame and Infinity War. You know, he lost that big battle in Infinity War and Endgame. He was Professor Hulk. I kind of like the one in Ragnarok and Original Avengers, though, if you ask me my favorite. All right, got a question about Chaos Theory for Tier 7. That would be upcoming this Friday, guys. What power do you need to be for that last year? My Wakanda is right now about 300k. I'm not gonna move them. I might be saving some resources, but I'm gonna keep them right there, and hopefully they have enough to pass. Do we have enough information what the power requirements will be to finish the last one? I think the only requirement is that star level. Now, if you go in game right now, there might be some recommendations, but usually those are a little high. So you could go in with teams lower than that, but the only requirement to enable you to get into that mode is to have all your Wakandans at 7 stars. But we'll see what happens when it comes out this Friday. First time anybody has played it. Any of the public has played it. ValleyFlyin, thanks for a great and helpful channel. Just got a 6 red star drop on Nebula. Congratulations and my condolences, brother. Not very useful in the game right now. Hopefully she will get a rework, but yeah, not really worth wasting your resources on her, even with those nice red stars. I'm a beta player, but will always be an Avengers Alliance guy at heart. Any chance we see new PvE modes in MSF like we had in MMA? I don't know all the MMA modes. I did play MMA 2, which was on mobile. MMA, the original one, was on Facebook. I didn't really play that one too much, and so I'm not familiar with the game modes, but yeah, it's always possible. If there was something really popular in a previous game, it's possible that the team over at Scopely, aka Fox Next, will pick that up and add that into this game. You know, it's about fun, and the more fun people have, the more money they're gonna make. So it's in their best interest to add modes that people like. Just unlock Star-Lord. Does he still have use outside of War and Blitz? Yes. He's very, very good in raids, up to about mid-game, maybe even the early part of the late game. Very, very good because the energy distribution that he brings about to the rest of the team, especially Rocket, very good in that original BKT team, and Dark Dimension 2, one of the MVPs there pairing Star-Lord and Rocket. So yeah, still has a lot of use. As far as what he does in Endgame, yeah, he's pretty much a Blitz character for me right now, and then maybe on some random team. But yeah, Endgame, not a lot of use, but if you're an early or mid-game player, Star-Lord's gonna have a lot of use for you. What's up from Pittsburgh, brother? I hope you and your family are still doing well. Same for all of you guys out there, brother. All of you guys, brothers and sisters. All right, question about finishing 2 incomplete teams, my Marauders and Black Order without Ebony. Both are missing a 5th member. I know you're partial to Kingpin, but that will only fill 1 spot. Thanks for the advice, go smash it. So currently, right now, full Black Order. Before I had Ebony Maw, I did use Kingpin on that team. And Marauders, I've also used Kingpin in that spot. But right now, for my 5th spot of Marauders, Ultron. But Kingpin would work. Hand Sentry will also work. I think I like Kingpin for Marauders and Hand Sentry for Black Order without Ebony, though. They have that stealth and that benefits Corvus a little bit. So that's who I would go with if I had to pick those characters. If I had to pick someone to round out those teams, for me, or for someone who is completing Dark Dimension 3 for the 2nd run within the next week or so, who would you suggest to use the gold promotional credits on? All meta characters are on the table. So this is an interesting question. It's going to be very, it's going to be very subjective based on what you like in this game, based on where your roster is, what your plans are. So I'm going to answer this based on my roster. A couple different characters that I'm thinking. My first choice, that I'm probably going to end up using my promotion credits on when this Chaos Theory comes around, Thanos. I want to get him up to 6 stars, maybe even 7 stars, but I need some more power on Thanos. Other characters thinking about possibly Black Bolt, very good. Hela is another consideration. Mr. Sinister is another consideration if you have those gold stars. Symbiote Spider-Man is another great character, but since you've already been through Dark Dimension 3, I don't know if he's like a hugely important character for you, but those are the ones that I recommend. I mean, if you want to think outside the box instead of what everybody's using, because those are who I'd recommend, but maybe a Cull. Maybe on some other team that you're using, but yeah, base it off of usage and on characters that are going to have a lot of value and that you think are going to have a lot of value. So Black Bolt, Sinister is going to have a lot of value. Thanos, I'm using that character right now. So those are probably my top 3 choices. Phoenix is in there a little bit as well. So yeah, a couple different options for you. It's going to be dependent very much so on what you value in this game though, brother. Valley, new to the game still. When farming character nodes, do you prefer to farm 1 or 2 characters at a time? and pay to refresh your nodes, or do you farm a character from each campaign? Stay safe. All right, so this is what I do when I farm. I pick about 2 or 3 characters or so, and that's who I'm farming, maybe even 4. And I farm those shards. I don't refresh them unless I need to rush. And the only reason I'm rushing is if there's a legendary event coming up and I need that character at a certain star level. Usually though, I am just farming that node. Like I said, 2, 3, 4 characters around there, and the rest of it is going towards gear as far as my campaign farming, brother. What is up? Question from BC Canada. Hamloots, BC Canada. Foxness is always preaching about how they don't want players, namely free-to-play players, to fall behind due to bugs and glitches, aka the ability match challenge, but they won't fix game modes that severely restrict new players like Blitz. What do you think if they made a Blitz a flat point system per Blitz players instead of points per team power? Interesting. You know what? There's a lot of ways to fix Blitz, which is one of the biggest low quality time users in the game right now. And there's a lot of different ways to do it. You can make it on a points per win basis to kind of even out the playing field. But then, you know, there's players that have been playing for a while that want some kind of advantage and not just the same advantage. So I think one thing they could do that's been mentioned previously, this is not a brand new idea, but having multiple shards. They have multiple shards for arena. I think the simple solution is just having multiple Blitz shards, so that you are competing with someone around your power level, and I think that's the best solution. That compromises a bunch of things. So let me know if you guys have other solutions in the comments, but I like multiple Blitz shards. Hey Valley, what is up, brother? Been a while since I asked a question. Hope you and your family are well. Same to you, brother. With the current ISO-8 classes and abilities being shown, am I correct in thinking that the striker bonus attack applied to mark targets is due to the skirmisher's class making targets or marking targets, making the two work together, or does striker mark the targets by itself? It doesn't say that based on the description, and I didn't play with it long enough on the test server to think. But the way I'm reading it, skirmisher applies mark, striker gets extra damage based on that. Again, these were things that I saw in the test server, so when it comes to the game, it could be totally different. I think there's a discussion going on very, very soon, and getting feedback, and I think a lot of that discussion is going to have a role to play. But as far as all the different targets, I think, and I could be wrong here, this is just an assumption, I think you're made to have one on each team, and then, you know, you use it like that. You know, so for example, the striker gets extra attack, the fortifier is going to get extra health, healer is going to do more damage, or more healing, jeez. The skirmisher is going to apply mark, he's going to remove positive effects, and the raider is going to more crit rate and crit chance. So I think they were designed to be a full team, but as far as Black Order, what would I give them as far as classes? And again, I haven't played too much on the test server. This is just kind of off the top of my head. It may work, it may not, but I like Proxima for that skirmisher because there's a lot of speed. She can apply that mark. Thanos with that striker because he has that damage, giving him more damage would be good, but there's a few classes that Thanos could actually fit in. But striker is the first one that comes to my top of my head. Call the fortifier. He's supposed to be the tank. He's got that taunt. Does that extra damage, so more health would help him, more barrier would help him, so that's going to be a good thing. Ma is obviously the healer of his group with his health steal, his drain that he has, and then marking the target, Proxima, and then Raider. Raider is the one with a crit chance, and Corvus. Corvus is going to benefit from more crit chance, more crit damage, so that's who I think Black Order off the top of my head. Of course, once these come to the game, though, all of these classes could be changed. There could be some new ones, so not sure, but as of what we've seen, that's who I would pick, brother. Would it make sense for Ghost Rider's Penance Scare to not be revivable? He is attacking and destroying your very soul with it. So there should be nothing left to revive. I agree. I think this may be something that the devs maybe forgot or maybe weren't considering, or maybe they thought it would just be too powerful if they added. Kind of like that military tag on Punisher. That was not added way back in the day for that Captain Marvel synergy, even though thematically he used it. So even though thematically it makes sense, maybe they forgot it, or maybe they didn't include it on purpose because he would be too strong. Not sure what their actual answer is, but a few different options there for you. And yeah, it does make sense to answer your question. I've been working on symbiotes, and I think everyone can agree they're an amazing team. Yes. But with only 3 members, what do you think we can expect from the team in the near future with 2 more symbiotes? Not sure what is happening with the symbiotes in the near future. I think eventually we'll get some symbiotes. Oh, it doesn't say near future. In the future. All right, so what is that team missing? They don't have a true tank, so that is the option for them. They don't have a way to get dispels off of them or all the debuffs off of them, so that is another option for them. They do have some self-healing with their passives, but maybe a true healer. Or maybe just extra damage. Maybe they don't need anything. Maybe they just need more and more damage, and good defense is a good offense, right? Maybe that's the thinking of the symbiote team. I don't know, but yeah, they're very strong with just those 3 characters. So adding 2 more, especially if they're on the power level of Symbiote, Spider-Man, and Carnage, yeah, they could be in the next meta team, brother. Got a question about ISO-8. Let's say if I have a level 3 striker, can I change him to a healer? If so, will my level 1 healer or level 3 healer, and will it cost anything? So the way it works, if you have a level 3 striker and you want him to be a healer, you could switch that as much as you want. But when you switch it the first time, it's going to be a level 1. You could upgrade that to level 3. There is a cost associated with it, but once they're both at level 3, you could switch back and forth, no cost. So that's kind of how it works. That's how it worked in the playtest. Again, as a disclaimer, for everything on the playtest could be fully changed by the time it comes to the game, but that is how it worked when I saw it in the game as far as the playtest. You don't have to keep upgrading these, you just upgrade it once. So hey brother, what do you think will be the 2 next farmable characters in July? I think Blob and Toad. I would love it if Cyclops were 1. So Toad was already revealed, should be in the game tomorrow in the Blitz store. Blob does make sense because he came out around the same time as Toad, so just from a chronological perspective, it does make sense. And we do have a bunch of milestone characters that are not farmable yet. Cyclops, Red Skull, you could argue that Coulson, Captain Marvel can be farmable. I'm not sure, but I think if I have to pick my pick, it would be Cyclops, because I want him on my X-Men team. He doesn't have a lot of gold stars. Captain Marvel's built, she's great. Symbiote Spider-Man, we know he has another event coming, so yeah, Cyclops would be my pick out of all those. Next question. How are you, my dude? I am doing good, my dude. Great content. Keep up the awesomeness. How would you feel about an Iron Man rework? Iron Man starts off with Hulkbuster the same way Thanos starts off with the stones. When he dies, he revives an Iron Man at like 50% health. Thanks for your time. Mahalo and aloha. All right. Iron Man rework would be cool. I'm not sure how this would work in the team, so we start off with Hulkbuster on that power armor team. He dies, Iron Man comes back, make him a better legendary. I'm not sure if they could go back and make it unpermanent though, so it might be a little too strong for a permanent legendary character, but any kind of changes like this, unique changes, I think it'd be cool. I'm not sure about the revive, but I would like Hulkbuster in the game, either as a uniform or some kind of mechanic like this, or the Thanos had with the rest of the Black Order. It'd be cool. Hey Valley, first time post from Vancouver, BC. Was wondering if Foxneck would ever consider increasing max energy on event campaigns to 120. Currently, you have to start the event campaign right at reset, otherwise you miss out on energy. You get 96 energy per 8 hours, which leaves a little extra room for proper 8-hour sleep. Keep on smashing it. I don't know, this is something they could have changed a while back and they didn't for a reason. So I'm assuming whatever reason they kept it there back in the day is still present. I don't see them changing it. Is it ever possible? Yeah, it's not something I see changing though. But Foxnex has surprised us in the past. I mean, real-time PvP kind of came out of nowhere. So yeah, it could, I don't see it happening, but that doesn't mean it won't. What do you think would be a better use of resources? Level up Black Order members, Cull, Proxima, Corvus, Thanos is maxed, or X-Force members. After X-23 Blitz, I'll have Altoon. Deadpool is at 65, Cable at 60. It's worth having Black Order without Maw or a low X-Force team. I think my answer is going to be dependent on where you are in the game. I think for newer players, you're going to be able to get away with that X-Force team that you're building. For later game players, I don't think that a weak X-Force team is going to be able to counter too much. So for mid and new players, X-Force might be the way you go after. For later game players, you're eventually going to want to get that Black Order built up. Once you get Ebony Maw, that's going to take a few months because we just had his event. But once his event comes back, Ebony and Maw built up that Black Order. So later game players, I would say focus more on Black Order. Mid, newer game players, I would say go more for X-Force. Valley, I have above average team, but I want to start Dark Dimension 3. I saw OMG's video about 6 to focus on. Should I continue to build up my other teams or focus on getting into Dark Dimension 3? So kind of like a previous question I talked about, this game is a game where you have to prioritize. You have to pick what you want to focus on, and you could either focus on building other teams or going into Dark Dimension 3. Like I said previously, though, there's a few things I think you need to have solid in place before you start working on luxury things like Dark Dimension 3. And I think first one is a solid arena team. I think that's the most important thing. So if you have a solid arena team, and my next one is raid. So if you have solid arena and raid, I think, yeah, you can start building on your Dark Dimension 3 characters. Now, I would start focusing on those big 3 like Phoenix, Minerva, Ebony Maw, those kind of characters that are very, very good in this game mode before you start working on other characters for Dark Dimension 3. But yeah, it's a game of prioritization. So if you already have a lot of teams built, go for Dark Dimension 3. If you don't, and are still missing some of the key teams that are keeping you out of war or raids or some of the characters for arena, then I would focus on that first. Valley, I think I understand Dark Dimension 3 game mode. It's a little confusing. Please provide clarification. Every hero spawns one time only. At the very beginning, each day we only get health. If Phoenix worked like the rest of the characters, we would only get to use their special and ult once per week, but Dark Phoenix is a summon, so that's new every day. Been trying to understand why I get a Phoenix lifesteal every day and Minerva basics only once a week. Appreciate the content. So a little different. Minerva is a character and Phoenix, like you said, is a summon. So every time that normal Phoenix summons Dark Phoenix, I guess that's like a new character. Her thing is reset because it's a summon. It's not a normal character that technically didn't die because I mean, I guess it did. Normal Phoenix died. Dark Phoenix died, but Dark Phoenix is summoned. Weird. I'm not sure the interaction because I mean, technically, if you looked at normal Phoenix as well, her special shouldn't be going off as much as it did. So I'm not sure how it works, but very good character in that mode, guys. The cooldowns don't seem to make sense. They're not consistent, but bring her in, build her up now, get into Dark Dimension 3 before the devs see this comment and start to do some things weird with Phoenix. Hey, how's it going, Valley? I'm developing my Hela and looking at Greg's kit. His passive says heal 140% of this character's max health for non-summon as guardians. I see his health as at 98k, therefore his heal would be 137k, which can't be right. I'm not sure how these works. I mean, there's some really inconsistent wording and the way they do these characters with these summons with their health, the percentages. It doesn't seem to line up consistently for every single character, so it's kind of weird. I'm not sure why it's working. If you guys know the answer to this question about Greg and why his health isn't completely lining up, let me know in the comments, because this summons and their health and all that stuff just not consistent across the board in this game. Additionally, Hela or Maw for 5th red star. Maw will be available after 2nd run, and both are being built for Dark Dimension 3. Hela will be 7 gold stars, 5 red stars. Maw will be 6 gold stars, 5 red stars. So in a vacuum, I think Maw is a little more important in the game right now. Hela's a very good character. I just think Maw, I'm using Maw a lot more. I think Maw provides a little bit more to the teams that I use, especially for Arena, to get that empowered Thanos, and then the that Ultimate 7 team that I'm running right now with Thanos and Ebony Maw. So I think that's going to be a little more valuable, but it's up to you. I'm not sure exactly the content that you're trying to clear, what you're needing on your team, but in a vacuum, my pick would be Maw based on what I'm doing, brother. Hope you and your family are doing well. Same to you, brother. I've been going hard on my Domino and Negasonic. Not sure which abilities to take to T4. I think Negasonic's passive is obvious for War, but past that, I'm not sure. Do you have any plans for T4s with X4? So Negasonic's passive is very, very good for War, providing the whole team with extra damage. One of the best passives for War on this team. So if you are War focused, yes, do that one. If you're using this team outside of War, it doesn't do a lot outside of War. So I have not done that T4. Main reason is I haven't pulled very good red stars on that character. So I'll probably invest in her a lot more if I had good red stars on her, but I haven't done that T4. I did a T4 on Domino. I think that one is worth it to get that extra chance to apply evade to the characters, give them a little more health. And I think there's a few good ones on X23 as well. Probably gonna have to wait to put any T4s on that to see how I do with red stars on that character. But if I do pull a few red stars, X23 might have a few as well. But I think right now, as far as characters that are in the game right now as I'm recording this, the passive for Negasonic and the passive for Domino are the two ones that I would do if you know, all things being equal, then red stars not taken into that equation. ValleyFlyin, after watching some stream, some people seem to not understand what third-party app meant. And this is a question about the Blitz botters that Foxnext responds to it. It's where a third piece of software is used, i.e. MSF1, the OS, Android, iOS emulator is 2, bot would be 3. Hope that makes sense. I'm not sure if that's exactly what it means, but basically the how it ends up is correct. The third-party software is that bot. They describe emulator in their post as something separate. So third-party software is not BlueStacks, it's not Nox, it's something that goes in addition to those, in addition to the emulator. So that is what is banned. If you guys are using that with macros and your account has not already been banned, I would stop using it right now because, yeah, I've been seeing notices that accounts are already being banned. So beware, guys. Next question is, what is up, brother? Do you think the Unity explosive combo orb was designed to catch blitz bots and the extra compensation orbs were given for us for the event being too tough that we're playing? So the extra compensation orbs, those extra 15 that we got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, yes, it was because I guess the calculations weren't correct and they wanted it easier than it was, or they saw all the complaining and they said, hey, let's make this a little easier. I don't know why, but it was to make it a little easier. Not sure if that was the original intention, but as far as catching blitz bots and relation to the orb opening combo event, I don't think that's related. I think it's just the timing of it worked out like that. But I'm glad that they found that fixed, and I'm glad that some botters are being banned, brother. What is up, your army recruiter friend from Cleveland? What is up, man? Do you believe blitz predictions will go down now that the bot users have been banned? It's hard to tell. I think the best way to tell will be after the X23 blitz, because with these non-new character blitzes, the scores go all over the place sometimes. So it's hard to tell what is a pattern and what is just something due to a certain character. So I think we're going to get a good idea of what the actual effects of the blitz botters are after this second X23 blitz, which I think the first one is happening next week. So I think it's going to be a few weeks till we get some actual like usable data on that. But I don't know if this predictions are going to go down. We'll see. We'll see what happens after. I'm not sure how widespread it was. I think a lot of community thought it was very widespread. But if it was only a couple players, then I don't think we're going to see that much of a difference. If it was very widespread, yeah, I think eventually we'll start to see these predictions go down, brother. Greetings from St. Pete, Florida. Appreciate the recommended characters for DD3 last week with Mobile Gamer. Finished Phoenix, close to Hela, Black Bolt, Minerva. Considering the scarcity of Gear 14, is there a skill character currently worth it to upgrade from an investment standpoint? I feel it'll be the fastest path to securing a 5th Gear 14. I'm interested to start that grind. So a couple different things. For skill characters, there's not a lot of good ones. Probably the weakest class out of all the classes for Dark Dimension 3 characters, but the one that I did was Proxima. I was deciding between Proxima and Sif. I went with Proxima because I was thinking the Black Order would be very good. And then after I finished Proxima, I had enough mini uniques for Corvus as well. So I did both of those two. Not sure if those are the best choices, but my rationale was I'm going to use those characters a lot outside of Dark Dimension 3 when I'm done with Dark Dimension 3. So I upgraded those characters. But I was considering Sif. I looked at my usage. Where am I using that full Asgardian team war defense? So I didn't do Sif. And then there's also Nick Fury as well. And there's a couple shield characters. If you're missing some city heroes or some city characters, you could also do Punisher. But Nick Fury is going to give you that defense up very early on, calling a few other characters. But none of those really stand out as, oh, these are awesome choices. Not like a Phoenix or a Ebony Maw or a Minerva. You know, there's skill is just a weaker class. But those are the ones. Proxima, Corvus, Sif, and Nick Fury, those and Punisher. Those are the ones that I would consider, and based on what uniques you have and what other holes you have to fill for Dark Dimension 3 is who I would recommend. Why is nothing being done to make Cyclops and Red Skull farmable? I don't know about that. I just think they haven't, their rotation hasn't come up yet. They should be coming up soon. They were kind of released around the time as Toad Blob, if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, I just think it's been a while. They're not going to be new characters, but I'm hoping, kind of like that last question, hopefully that Cyclops will be farmable in this next update or this month. Why is there so much hate for Magneto not being a good tune? I see him being able to run in Ultimus 7. You can team him up with Symbiote Spider-Man and Perma Blind some tune. Yeah, he's not a bad tune. I don't know. I haven't been seeing too much hate for Magneto. Now, as far as his pecking order on legendary characters, he's not that high up nowadays. But as far as just total characters in the game, one of the better characters in the game. Haven't used him too much in Ultimus 7, but I know there's some people that use him and use him successfully. So yeah, good character. He shouldn't be getting a lot of the hate. Valley, first time asking a question, wondering if there's any team placement guide that you use for a war. No, I pretty much just do what my war leaders in the alliance tell me and just do that. War is not a it's very individualized per your alliance, and each alliance does things differently. I've been in a few different alliances. Each one of them does things slightly differently. So no, there's no guide because it's going to be based on what your leadership in your alliance thinks. Valley, what is up from Johannesburg, South Africa? Watching your videos for a while. Thanks for all the tips and advice. Keep it up. My first question is, I'm getting ready for Dark Dimension 3, Minerva, Ebony Maw, Hela, Carnage, Symbiote Spider-Man. I know Phoenix is best for global, but I will get her in the next rotation, which is months away. Which character would be best to use in the meantime? So as far as global nodes, Phoenix is probably the best character. I mean, hands down, that percentage-based damage, there's no character that really can do that in the global. Other characters that I think possibly can be worth bringing in, if you have the gold stars and the stuff to justify, possibly Sinister. It's not the best character in that game mode, but paired with certain characters, he can be good with a good clone. And then with that special where he distributes all the positive effects. Ultron is an okay character. He is very, very mini unique intensive. So he's going to cost a lot more than other characters, but he's a good character. What is he's great for Dark Dimension 3, especially because a lot of his kit requires the timing of summoning his bots and getting his skills off, and you're not really able to do that in Dark Dimension 3. So he's not awesome, but he's okay. X-23, I mentioned her before. Her kit on paper looks pretty good. Maybe she'll be good in Dark Dimension 3, maybe not, but at least on paper, I think she'd be good. And then we got Fury. We talked about him before with that defense up, some minions. Not the best character, but if you're really struggling for some global characters, and especially if you don't have a skill character, he could get you through. One character I do want to mention is Taskmaster, though. Not the best character. I mean, there's some required characters, and if you got those characters done, I wouldn't see the harm in going Taskmaster after that. His kit looks good. Again, not as good as Phoenix, but better than some of the other characters out there. Just make sure that you're not just investing him just for Dark Dimension 3, though. I think for Dark Dimension 3 characters, invest in characters that you're going to continue to use after the game mode. So with that said, how do you feel about Taskmaster? If you feel good about him, you're going to use him a lot, then yeah, maybe take him into Dark Dimension 3. Looks good on paper anyway. What is up, Valley? Greetings from Wales. Hope all is good with you and your family. Thanks for asking my question a few weeks ago. No problem, brother. Questions. Any of the T4s worth investing in Shuri for Ultimate 7? So a couple. Her ultimate, I think you should do that. It gives her an extra round of healing. I think that's a very good one. The questionable one is her passive. Running her on a full Wakandan team, no brainer. That's going to help that full team. Running her on a mixed team in Ultimate 7 is debatable. It's going to give her some more speed, which means that you're going to get her special off a little quicker, giving defense up to the entire team. But I wouldn't say it's necessary. If you got some extra T4s, you can do both. If you just want to do one, I'd say her ultimate is more valuable than her passive, just for Ultimate 7 on a mixed team. What are your thoughts on the following gameplay suggestion? Adding a skip turn option in a match along with your basic special and ultimate attack choices. I get where you're coming from. I played other games and I've wanted this in other games as well, but I also see problems that this can lead to. A lot of it, sometimes you're making moves that you don't want to make. It'd be so easy to skip a turn if you could, especially if a character has counter. And then with that, what would the AI do? Just keep skipping turns if you have counter or something like that, or that could really screw up a PvP match, just skipping things. So I think there could be some value for players in raids, things like that. Especially if you want to get your cooldowns all set, but I don't think that they could add this in. I think this could add too many problems to the game to add just a skip turn. Bit of a random one. Has anyone noticed Ultimus has a new animation if you star him up on the stars themselves. I have not. I'm gonna have to go into game after this and check that out. But yeah, Ultimus is not a character that I spend a lot of time in. But thank you for letting us know that in case there's any Ultimus fans out there. Forget to add these Unity orbs are very strange. Supposed to get Negasonic Teenage Warhead shards. Keep getting Drac shards. As a result, I've ended up upgrading Ultimus instead. It's weird. RNG is kind of is not always your friend. Sometimes it is your friend. I got pretty good luck with these pulls for the Domino event. Not so good for the Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Not so good for Proxima. But you know, sometimes these events you get good pulls. Sometimes you don't. It's just all luck. All luck. ValleyFlyin. Wonder why Thanos has no Black Order tag on him. Keep smashing. A couple different reasons. I'm not sure thematically if he's actually a Black Order. So if he's not, that would make sense. If he is, we talked about Punisher back in the day, not getting that military tag just for game balance reasons, even though it would make sense thematically for that character. So that's another possibility. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why he doesn't have that tag on, but yes, he doesn't have it. And there is an explanation. I'm just not sure. But those are some possible ones. Valley, been busy with a newborn son, managed to stay active somehow. Oh, congratulations, brother. Anyway, suggestions on the fastest way to get through the villain campaign. 7 run through 7-6 through the Hella node. I have my aim at 140k, still can't beat the first node. So I know there are some people that beat it with a very low aim team. I know there's some people that beat it with some mixed teams as well. But as far as pure aim, the numbers I'm seeing is about 160 to 180 if I'm remembering correctly. I think that's where you need to build that full aim. But yeah, if you guys have been through it a lot sooner than me and have some good mixed teams that would help out, let me know. I'm not sure the good mixed teams that go through these villain campaigns. Would it be faster to go through Hydra or something else? I think mixed teams are the best way, but if you want your aim, 160 to 180 is where I shoot for. And any clue who to use for 7-4 to 7-6? Your villain mystic characters, brother. Just look for your best villain mystics. There's some that you're lacking, maybe like a Mortal or a Strange, build them up. If you have access to that Loki node, he's a good character there as well, brother. Greetings from Sunny San Diego, currently cruising through Dark Dimension 2 with Minerva, Star-Lord, Hello Rocket, and Phoenix. Do you think it would be worth trying Phoenix next to Star-Lord? Feed her energy to her vitality drain since the cooldown is shorter, makes more damage. Not necessarily Phoenix. Dark Phoenix, yes. If you're getting multiple hits from that special, from that ultimate, because there's the nodes in Dark Dimension 2 are lasting so long, yeah, put her next to Star-Lord, give that more of that percentage-based healing. Give her more shots at her ultimate. It would be good. I don't think Phoenix herself is going to get too much benefit, but Dark Phoenix, yes, I think Dark Phoenix would. So it could be, but it's depending what you're doing with your Dark Phoenix, how long you're lasting through those nodes, brother. Valley, do you think you could do a video on Dark Dimension 1 for us newbies? I'll take any suggestions you may have. Gosh, I remember when I did this. This wasn't that important to me way back in the day when it first came out. I was kind of like Dark Dimension 3. I was forgetting to do it, skipping stuff. I wasn't really building specific teams for Dark Dimension 1. I figured once I get those stars on those characters, I would take them in. It was not really in a rush. It wasn't like Ultron where I needed that character to compete in the meta. Just like resources to build up my characters. I didn't really focus on it too much. Don't really remember it too much. But honestly, just build up whatever characters you can. I think it's 6 stars is a requirement. Take them in there. Keep going at it. Eventually, you're going to pass it. As far as optimal teams, guys, let me know in the comments. Who are some teams that you got through Dark Dimension 1 pretty quickly with nowadays? Recent teams. Not some of these old school teams. ValleyFlyin, greetings from Israel. Wanted to ask if you have a suggestion for a U7 solid team that can run long. Something like BKT on Ultimate 6. My alliance is currently running Ultimate 7 difficulty 3. So it'd be a good fit for this. So we're running difficulty 4 right now. And I've been using this team, recommended my mobile gamer to put Ultron in this team. But when running this for a little while, Thanos, Ebony Maw, Minerva, Black Bolt, and I've been rotating that 5th. Ultron, I found I could auto some of those earlier nodes a lot easier than when I was using Symbiote Spider-Man in that spot, when I was using Hela in that spot, and worked pretty good all the way up into that Vision mini-boss node. After that, it needs a little more power, but that's who I'm running now. So hopefully that team helps you out in difficulty 3 of Ultimate 7, brother. Will counter attack apply mark with ISO-8? That is a good question. I did not check that out while the test server was still up. So interesting question. So we'll have to say, I guess when it comes to the game, I don't know if there's going to be another round of test play or if this is it. So we might have to wait on this one, brother. Valley, thanks for all your tips. I unlocked the legendary Star-Lord. Question, in a fight, do you go for the strongest tank character or do you go for the healer utility character? Depends on the fight. Honestly, for the shorter battles, a lot of times I end up going for those damage dealers first. Characters are going to hurt my team. Sometimes I go for those utility characters that are going to apply a negative effect like an ability block or a stun. I need to control them. Normally, I don't go for the tanks unless I can't get through the taunt. Usually, it doesn't make sense to go through the tank. Makes sense to remove the taunt and go to some other characters. But healers are a good choice. Utility characters are a good choice. And damage dealers are a good choice. It depends on the battle. Longer battles normally go for the healers first. Shorter battles, probably for the damage dealers first. But it depends. It depends who's on the field. There's no one cookie cutter answer for this. But tanks are usually last. I guess that's the main answer. Do you think they will ever release more X-Men characters? I would love Xavier, Nightcrawler, Iceman, even Apocalypse. Yeah, I mean, those are very popular characters. I think they would make some good money with releasing those characters. So I think there would be a time. As far as when, I am not sure, though. With the upcoming Chaos Theory, we were able to try the final tier for the first time. Do you think the recommendation of level 70, gear tier 12 is accurate? Okay, so that was a recommendation. I didn't see it in the game, but that was from a question earlier. Level 70, gear tier 12. Aside from Shuri, mines are 60, gear 10. Debating if I should start leveling and gearing them up for now. So here's what I would do if you're not sure. Save all of your resources. Don't put anything into your Wakandas. Don't put anything to your rest of the characters if you can. Save it when this event comes out on Friday. See if you could pass it right then. If you cannot, then start investing in characters. Put the least amount of resources into these characters as possible. I don't see Wakandas having too much of a value as a set team outside of this event. So I don't know if you want to invest too many resources into your Wakandan team. So save them, wait till the event comes around, and invest as little as you need just to get through the event. 3-star that thing so you could keep autoing it. What is up, brother? Greetings from the other side of Texas, down in El Paso. What is up? Do you think there'll be a chance they add a way to review raid stats after the raid besides the pop-up window? This has been something I've been seeing requested for a little while, the past week or so. Not sure if this is something that's a huge value to the community. I know for Alliance leaders in particular, this would be something that would be awesome to see, but I don't know if there's enough demand for this of the overall community that FoxX would devote resources towards building something like this. But I don't know. Let me know in the comments if this is something that is way more in high demand than I think right here. But I don't know. Let me know. What is up, brother? Greetings from Central PA. 2 nodes away from starting Cosmic in Dark Dimension 3. Hela or Maw for Gear 14 to go with Invisible Woman, Black Bolt, or Thor. All right, so when deciding what to Gear 14 for Dark Dimension 3, for me, I was always thinking which character is going to have more value after Dark Dimension 3. For me, out of Hela or Maw, I think that's going to be Maw. He's going to get a lot of value in Dark Dimension 3 because he has a percentage-based attack with his drain. I think it's on his special, not his ultimate. It could be it's his ultimate, special or ultimate. Anyway, he has that percentage-based attack, and yeah, he's a good character. So I think I would go Maw. But the only thing that's keeping me from fully recommending, you have Thor there, and Thor has some synergy with Hela. But with that said, I think I still would go Maw in this case, brother. Next question. Valley, big hello from Pittsburgh, PA. Also a fan of the hard work you put into your content. Thank you, brother. Anyway, thinking about this last week, someone on your past videos during the boycott, I was wondering, does it make sense to go back and look at what else was addressed, not addressed, new issues that came up, nerfing different parts of the game, fixing errors when they were costing them money? I only say this because it seems like FoxX, aka Scopely, is still making money as is their number one goal. While I realize they're a business, don't claim you're free to play. I'm not sure who to claim they're free to play. I don't. FoxX never claimed they're free to play. I'm not sure what that means, but what was addressed during the boycott? So if you look at the roadmap, I talked about this a couple weeks ago. Everything that FoxX had for the roadmap in 2020, I think was addressed except for one thing, and that was reducing low quality time, particularly in Blitz mode. I don't think they've done a lot to address that. They have that scroll so you can scroll through your save squads for Blitz mode, but other than that, has not changed. And you can even make your argument that we've had to spend more time in Blitz since that came out. But other than that, I think they've done a good job addressing everything that they had in a roadmap. As far as there's a few different versions of the fixed MSF movement and the demand, so I guess you could go look at each individual demand. I think there was 3 iterations. So look at whatever iteration, and you can make your own determination. But I don't know if it's worth looking back too much on that. I think overall it did some good. We got some more communication, but I'm not sure how much of that was planned beforehand and how much of that was actual result of the boycott. Hey, Valley, love watching your YouTube videos and your creative content in your intro on your stream. Question: have enough red stars to take characters from 4 to 7 red stars? What character would you recommend in general for from my meta pool? Phoenix, Thanos, Ebony, Hela, Captain Marvel on my 4 red stars. Black Bolt is a 6 red stars. Or should I wait for the next big meta release? You could always wait for the next big meta release. There's no harm in saving in a situation like this. As far as which character should you do, again, kind of like my previous answers to these questions, it's going to depend on what game mode is important to you, where your roster is, where you're at in the game. So I'm going to answer this as far as what I would do. First choice out of these characters, I would go with Thanos. I want Thanos to 6 red stars. If I can get him to 7 red stars soon, I want him at 7 red stars, but Thanos will be my pick out of these characters. Next would probably be Black Bolt, getting him to 7 red stars. After that, they're all good choices. Captain Marvel would and Ebony Maw probably be my last. Captain Marvel, just because she isn't used in a lot of teams nowadays, so I don't know how much usage you would be getting out of her. And then Ebony Maw, I think a lot of his value just comes from his kit, not particularly his red stars. I think if you have at least 4 on him, 4 or 5, you're pretty good. So I don't know if you need to get him up to 7, but go Thanos, and then Black Bolt. After that, the Phoenix is good too. It helps Phoenix. It helps Dark Phoenix. Excuse me. It doesn't help Phoenix too much. It helps Dark Phoenix a lot, having extra red stars on that character. Ultimate, not the special. Anyway, Valley, do you think orange elite orbs should count towards the milestone? Yes. I don't think they counted last time though, so I think it's just more of a wish than anything. But I would like them to. I don't know if they should, but yeah. Let's see what happens. Hopefully get some good rewards on this upcoming milestone, orb opening milestone thing. Valley, hope all is good with you. We're just coming out of lockdown here in Liverpool, UK. Have Foxneck make U7 harder in the last 2 weeks. I was getting up to the 3rd boss node with very little difficulty, but now I'm getting smashed in the final boss node. Couple different things here. I haven't noticed anything too much in the past 2 weeks, but I noticed the difficulty did get harder since they got that raid slider in, and I think that was planned. So yes, as far as the last 2 weeks, not anything particular. Now I do think that the StarTech bug is back. I think it went away and came back. It has been mentioned to Foxnex, but it hasn't been mentioned along with screenshots or video that kind of proves that it's back. So if anybody has that, I'll definitely pass that along. But it could be that StarTech bug coming back. Could be something else, but I haven't noticed it getting harder the past 2 weeks. It just seems like it's a lot harder since they changed the difficulty sliders. Good day. From Australia, Valley, building my Dark Dimension 3 team at the moment. I have Black Bolt, Phoenix, and almost finished Hela. I'm wondering, what's your opinion on taking Taskmaster in? Kind of like I said previously, it's a good character. His kit looks very good. Haven't heard of too many people taking him in, so I'm not sure how he is firsthand, but yeah, it looks pretty good. If you've already done a lot of these, what I would call the necessary characters for Dark Dimension 3, like your Phoenixes, Black Bolt, Ebony Maw, Minerva, characters like that, and you have enough resources to also bring some characters like Taskmaster, then do it. Check him out. His kit looks pretty good, so he might be good, or it just might be his kit, and when you take him in, not that good. So I don't know. It's based on your resources, though. I wouldn't stretch my resources for him, but if you have extra resources laying around, yeah, build them up. Should be fun. Hope all is good with you, brother. Have a dilemma in my position to farm for Ebony. Was planning on trying to get my other legendary characters to 7-star. Should I farm for them or Ebony? He would be the last one I unlock. So take a look at the cadence. In my Discord server, the infographics, when I did the farming guide, I did one for the cadence. So Ebony is not going to come for a while. You could stop farming him for a little while, focus on some of these other legendaries that are going to be coming up in the cadence a little quicker than Ebony, and then come back to him later. So it's up to you, but yeah, he's not coming back for a while. So you got options. You look at that cadence though, the character release cadence or the legendary release cadence, and see if that helps you in making a determination which one to prioritize first. What are your thoughts on Foxnex making a Hulk team similar to Black Order that would make Hulk become empowered so he can smash? I would love it. Anything that makes Hulk stronger. Hulk more prevalent in this game and a better character in this game? Thumbs up. At what level should Ironheart replace Vision and Power Armor? My Vision is 68k, so almost 70k. Just starting to build up Ironheart. So mine's, can't remember where mine's is, but I think mine's is about 10 or 20k power difference. So I would say probably around 50k is where I would start looking to replace Vision with your Ironheart. Yeah, if it's too much of a power difference, your Vision, even though his kit is not as good as Ironheart for that team, is just going to be better because he's stronger. And at some point, it will flip over to Ironheart. What that point is, I'm not sure. I think mine's around 10 or 20k though that I did that, and she works good. She works good. Just not as good in Blitz because not as much score, but in War, team works good. Valley from greetings from Nottingham, UK. Love your content. Keep it up, my man. Will X-Force ever be a competitive team in highly ranked arena, war, or PvP? It looks like now Domino is such a weak link that she dies. Game over. All right, high ranked arena, probably not. They weren't designed to be an arena team, so their bonuses, their usage, not really made for arena. War, they are already one of the meta war offense teams. Now, on paper, I say that because as of me recording this, X23 not in the game yet, and most people don't have that team, built up. Obviously they don't have X23, but they don't have their Negasonic, they don't have their Domino fully built up to really test that team out, see what they're fully capable of. So they might not be getting as much love as they should, but should be very good on war offense. PvP, possibly. I mean, PvP, a lot of it is going to be, you need to arrange, if you want to do a set team like this, you're going to have to arrange with your opponent that, hey, I want to use this team. You could pick this team and go from there, because any opponent's not going to let you get a fully synergized teams unless it's just a for fun match. Hey, Valley, greetings from Kent, England. A lot of England guys. Anyway, in light of Scopely posting on Facebook a heads up on Emma Frost yesterday, which knocked the Facebook community for 6, as we thought it was just a rumor. Can you find out any more kit allegiances, and when is Beast coming out? June or July? All right, so the rumor that was, or the what is this? The hint that was posted by Scopely yesterday, it said care reaction equals justice for Emma Frost, and that is what they wrote on their post yesterday. It's on Facebook right now on their poll of who you could vote for your Blitz, the Thor, Toad, things like that. In the comments, there is that comment about Emma Frost. So I am not up on all of the latest rumors, so for that we got to go to our rumor guy. Drew, what is going on with Emma Frost? When is Beast coming? July, August? What is going on? Tell me the latest on rumors, brother.
G'day, Valley No Walkers, mate. It has been a while. It's like the rumors went on holiday, but let's get into them. So the cold fifth that I've been talking about, providing massive boosts to the team. Yes, your meta is going to get even more painful. And the X-Men male coming up July, not August. But that is it, mate. I'm off like a frog in a sock. Gotta go refill my supply of frothies before I get too loud. So as usual, mate, I'll see you next time.
Brother, man, it is always a pleasure. Thank you again. And hopefully there's some more juicy rumors that you could share with us next time you're on here. Now, I do want to thank all of you guys that watched this video. Hopefully your question got featured. If it did not, thank you anyway for you submitting your question on Discord. And guys, the link for that Discord server is in the description if you want your question potentially featured in one of these. Normally we do these every Monday, but we do this video every single week. Happened to be on Tuesday this week, but yeah, every single week, guys. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. At least 4 Marvel Strike Force videos per week on this channel. Check me out on social media and check out some of the other links in the description. They support the channel. I will see you next time. Give me a Hulk fist bump before you go, baby. ValleyFlyin, out.